Hello and welcome to a Star Citizen Persistent Universe monthly report. We are going to look at what Cloud Imperium have been working on over the last few weeks and what they're focused on now in September 2024. We are going to largely omit bits about Alpha 3.24. That has come out to live. They are hot fixing it. They are bug fixing it at the moment. And obviously a load of work was done on that, but you've got that in your hands. I want to talk about stuff beyond that on the road to 4.0, CitizenCon, Intergalactic Aerospace Expo later this year, beginning of next year, and with, I suppose, 3.24.x patches as well. With that in mind, Ship Art moved several unannounced vehicles towards their grey box reviews, while others approached their Lot 0 and final content reviews. Hopefully some of these will appear during the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo later in the year. Work on the RSI Polaris also continued, with the ship's exterior approaching completion. We also know that the Zeus Mark II, CL and ES are now part of a 3.24.x patch that should be coming in the not too distant future, probably at the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. Core gameplay features worked on a load of stuff, so they prepped for server meshing, progress was made on the overheat mechanic, weapons will overheat at different rates based on their environments, charge and drain progressed too, and now features client-side prediction for immediate feedback for players when they're charging or draining. The team also began adding logic to declutter the UI by grouping markers of the same type. The implementation of weapon groups and group presets continues. Progress continued on jump points with planning and debugging for exit points. Turbulence was also implemented, which will affect the flight experience within the quantum tunnel, or jump point tunnel I should say. They are tweaking the strength to get the desired impact that they want there. Cockpit vibration was also added based on where in the tunnel the player is located, and obstacles were placed that players will be required to navigate, otherwise, well, you can fail your jump and be chucked to the edge of a star system and then require sort of getting rescued. Progress was made on the resource network, engineering gameplay, and life support. Core gameplay implemented a new behavior for critical components, which will replace the existing soft death mechanic. When live, only certain items like power plants can trigger an explosion or soft death when destroyed. So a lot of the time your ship might just be disabled and repairable if you can replace the component or repair it. And I suppose if a power plant goes critical potentially, or multiple do, then you might be in a state where you need more extensive repair to get that ship back, or maybe it is just scrap metal at that point. The engineering screen was polished, while a new room selection UI was added for life support. They gave design the ability to control the total power output of multiple active power plants. This way, more power plants don't necessarily result in linearly increasing power production. Work on radar and scanning continued. They closed out feature work for delta signatures, giving design more control over how to react to changes. Tasks were completed for audio signatures too. The ongoing mission system refactor continued, with the team fixing various issues causing existing behaviors to break or function incorrectly. The mission system can now run in minimal mode, allowing it to be included in the seeding service and upcoming mission factory service, which generates contracts. Clients can now query available missions, and the contract generator can apply legacy settings to work with the previous system too. Implementation of service beacons for the mission system refactor began. The economy team spent the last few weeks getting closer to uniting all their work into a cohesive economy consisting of ships, items, missions, fuel, consumables, freelancing, careers, and more. Progress was also made on the economy setup for Pyro. So these are more and more steps towards a dynamic economy, although CIG have become a lot more tight-lipped on the dynamic economy and the sort of dynamic universe simulation stuff. Hopefully we'll learn more at CitizenCon this year. The landing zone team progressed with tasks for Alpha 4.0, including adding new areas and additional polish to Pyro's space stations. The locations team pressed forward with ground bases, moving their initial modules through Greybox. Improvements were also made to several new location types coming with Pyro. When they talk about ground bases there, they might be talking about player bases or homesteads and that sort of stuff, but it could also be mission locations or outposts. Lots of different stuff now fall within that kind of category. Mission design spent time updating the salvage mission archetype, enabling it to spawn ground panels and provide FPS gameplay at scrapyards. They also continue to work on the repair location missions, recently shown off in the social gameplay of Pirate episode of Inside Star Citizen. The team is targeting 3 main gameplay elements for the initial release: charge and drain, charging devices that use batteries for operation, replace components, replacing fuses in relays, and repair pipes, fixing damaged pipes using RMC, basically the salvage and repair tool. The team also continued to design resource gathering, including determining which commodities buyers in Stanton would want extracting from Pyro. They are also expanding the mechanic to include FPS resource gathering, which will be the first step towards basic MMO type fetch quests. Also, a new mission type progressed that the team will be discussing in a future update. Significant progress was made on the updates for the mission and marker systems, and the teams there completed the new player trade service, which will allow players to trade game currencies in a server meshed environment. The narrative team spent the last few weeks working with design and branding to further develop the new contested zones and enhance the gameplay that players will experience there in those sort of extraction shooter-esque environments that we're going to have on Pyro stations in 4.0. The team also made improvements to the cargo hauling missions and continued work on unannounced mission content that will be coming to Stanton and Pyro. The narrative design team focused on improving AI behaviors at settlements to give a more natural feel to the NPCs that players will encounter there. They also fleshed out the new social AI test bed. Some other bits and bobs. We know that Cloud Imperium have been working on some specialist armors, so if you want to be like a medic or a miner or a salvage or whatever, you'll have some more specialist focused armors, FPS style, for that. Various improvements were made to Vulcan support and sort of performance. Also, global illumination saw progress. We know they're planning to have multi-threaded support in 4.0 for Vulcan. Global illumination will probably, when they actually put it in properly, will have ray tracing, and work continues on Planet Tech V5 with a focus on enhancing terrain performance. There's a revamped material scattering system that now supports physically based distribution, allowing for denser biomes such as jungles and forests by eliminating distinctions between small and large mesh ground covers. They've also been working on some sign distance field stuff. They've been introducing geology and soil maps. The progress tracker was also updated with the latest production schedule through 2024, introduces a significant shift in how deliverables are tracked while maintaining transparency throughout the year. Further updates, including 2025, will follow soon, apparently, because the update there they got with the roadmap wasn't huge, but we need more, and I'm glad we got at least some, and the more they give us, the better. They are now updating the progress tracker and the roadmap, so I'll be watching that and making videos on that as we know more. The VFX team worked on supporting jump points and dynamic fires. They also completed their work on acidic caves, 2 vehicles, and an unnamed energy weapon that has functionality not seen before in the Persistent universe. VFX programming focused on fire hazards. The feature work is now complete, with the focus shifting to bug fixing and design balance. Time was also spent testing and gathering metrics for a newly enabled Easy Anti-Cheat EAC anti-cheat featuring in Evocati and the PTU recently. There were loads of updates to AI and NPC stuff, but I'm going to be rolling that over largely to the Squadron 42 report, which we'll get done within the next couple of days, just because there is a huge amount of crossover with those two, and there's a lot more detail into some of the other bits and bobs AI and NPC wise in the Squadron 42 report. It just makes sense to put it all into that. But boom! I'm really interested to know what you think. Are you excited for the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo later in the year and for 3.24.x? I'm assuming that there will be a .x patch with Intergalactic Aerospace Expo with that Zeus Mark II, the CL and the ES. Are you looking forward to 4.0 and server meshing and all those features that they're working on with that for Pyro and jump points? It's gonna be an absolute blast for the rest of the year. We've got CitizenCon coming up, then the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, then probably, hopefully, by the end of the year, 4.0. And I'm interested to know, do you think they will sort of knock it out of the park with 4.0 and it will be in our hands live by the end of the year? Or do you think it's going to have loads of teething issues? Do you think there's no way that they can get it to live by the end of the year, but maybe like an open PTU? If you've got any questions about anything that we were discussing here, please chuck it in the comments below. I'm really happy to see the sort of change change from soft deaths ships so that these are actually disabled ships now and you can repair them, or maybe some of the sort of power plants and stuff do go critical, causing internal explosions and shearing your ship apart, and maybe that's when you go, well, actually this is no longer a repairable ship, it is totally destroyed. But yeah, tell me what you think about all of that in the comments below. What's in the box? That is what Pandora asked. She was told not to open that box, but she did. The internet is like Pandora's box, full of the chaos of the world. And Pandora basically opened an email attachment asking to help a millionaire prince move money around. Bam! It was Medusa all along. You've turned to stone. Foolish! You should know your Greek mythology. What's not foolish is nordvpn.com/BoredGamer. NordVPN is potentially one of the greatest Greek mythological heroes. It helps protect you from the terrors of the internet, helping you be more secure and private, while also giving you great accessibility. You can use my links down below to get NordVPN cheap. September, we've got a giveaway. Every month we have a ship giveaway, and this month is no different. We're giving away 5 ships this month. Actually, that is a bit different. That's 4 more than normal. We're going to give each of them to a different winner. We've got a Nomad, an X1, a Sulen, a Mustang Alpha, and a 100i. They all come with access to the game and lifetime insurance. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning any of those is comment on any of my videos made during the month on YouTube. I want to say a massive thank you to all our patrons and channel members. Your support allows us to make daily content. You are the best, and you should consider joining them by clicking the join button under my videos. It goes a long way in helping us, as does commenting, sharing videos, liking, all of that jazz. You do not have to chuck money at us, but if you want to, I'm not going to stop you. Thanks for watching, and have a great September.